of Flurgans because Silver Surfer is officially Fountainable now in Marvel Strike Force. When are we going to see the late 2021 roadmap for Marvel Strike Force? And it is time to rejoice because we can finally use the Heroes for Hire in the Gamma Rays. And if you're ready for all of that on your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update, I'm discussing all of that and more with my brother Remanx. And if you're ready for it, Remanx, tell him what to do, my friend.
Valley, you really should get that looked at.
It's just a scratch.
ValleyFlyin.
Valley Maniacs, what is up? Welcome back to your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update and the ValleyFlyin channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're ready to discuss all the latest and greatest and not so greatest in Marvel Strike Force. We're discussing it all, positive, negatives, indifferent, and I'm discussing it with my brother Remanx. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. How are you, Remanx? How have you been?
Valley? Oh man, it's been on busy. I'm busy. That's good news, right?
Good. I got to just tell you, Goose, very, very nice cat. My eye is fine. Don't worry about it. But how are you enjoying Marvel Strike Force right now, my friend?
Oof. So Marvel Strike Force, I'm a little, I think the only time I really am playing it these days is when I'm either like streaming it or like trying to record a video for it.
Okay.
But it's just, I hope we get that roadmap soon.
I do as well, and that is my question for you, brother. When are we gonna get this roadmap? Now, if we go and look at when the first half of 2021 came out, February 26, 2021. 6 months from that is around late August. Am I calculating that correct? Are we gonna get this in late August?
It probably, yeah. I mean, it was probably a little bit late back then, and I think there's probably a lot of moving parts that they have to kind of work on, and more importantly, I think that with Cerebro's responsibilities have kind of expanded without Zeke's there. I think it's I think that's definitely something that we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're really a little generous, a little late. The end of February, almost March, is when we're getting what is happening in the 2021. To me, to get this kind of roadmap, probably the beginning of January, late December is when I would think it's going to come out. But I guess the big question here is, if this is not going to come to around the end of April, what is going to happen first? The global launch of Marvel Future Revolution or the 2021 late blog post from Marvel Strike Force? What are your predictions right now?
Marvel Strike Force roadmap first.
Okay. We have a hard date for this. We don't have a date for the Strike Force thing. So, all right, we will see. Let me know your predictions in the comments, guys. But you know what else we got early this week, Remanx?
Which one? Go ahead, drop it.
All right, we got these new characters. We had this for the last release, these silhouettes, and I guess everybody's wondering what these characters are, and we could speculate on it in a little bit. But I think we have the unlock method that was released for all of these characters. And if we look at this, I think the chat found what the release method for these characters were. If we take a look at it, it is Hamilton, Jackson, Grant, and Franklin. These seem to be the release methods for these characters. How accurate do you think the release method for this is? This screenshot that we had, hidden reveal, world exclusive reveal, guys.
I think there was only one character that launched that you couldn't buy, and that was Coulson, right? That was the only character they didn't sell. That was the only character they didn't sell us an offer for when he launched, right?
Okay, so the release method, it looks pretty accurate to you, or is this a little bit off?
Those fit the profiles too, so good job.
Nice. All right, so yes, chat, thank you for sending that in. Yes, this is the release method, guys. Let me know what you think of the release method of these characters. But I did want to talk about the new character that arrived in Marvel Strike Force earlier this week, Maria Hill, the latest member of the Secret Avengers team. As you can see, I did not unlock her. I did pull the red stars for 3 stars for her, but
wait. When did you pull the three red stars? The oopsie or the actual?
We'll talk about that. It was a very I don't know. The word debacle comes into my mind, but I keep using that word. It was not a very good release for her. First, her offer popped up in the supply store. Not really an announcement there. People were a little confused. We got some red star issues, which you mentioned. where there was no announcement, but people saw that she was available in the Red Star store, started opening a bunch of orbs, and then she disappeared. No announcement, nothing was announced. People were confused. So there was that issue, and I did not open the Red Star store at that time. It was when we got the offer into the game. And then there's a broken text on the level 2 of her ability that still is not corrected. Any other issues with Maria Hill that I'm forgetting?
I have to double check, but I think her pre-release, because she was in the game for a while, people were able to use her cores, and it looked like she wasn't giving the buffs. I think Yeti pointed this out.
I forgot about that. Yes, not extending the buffs to all of the characters. I believe in her ultimate, right? That she's supposed to extend it to his skill,
she was supposed to dispel the skill allies too, and it was only happening to Secret Avenger, and Shield.
Okay, so it's missing the skill. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so many bugs with Maria Hill. I don't know. In your mind, is this one of the worst? Not character from a character's perspective, but as far as things that could go wrong with a character, is this from that perspective the worst release character that we've had?
So I'll say this out loud, right? She shows up in the core shop without an email like we had with Violet and Moondragon. Just sits there, kind of like, hey, content creators, you want to make some content? Go buy her, right? And or impulsing, players to do it. But we also know she's a Blitz release. She isn't even like a a campaign event or something where it makes sense to pre-buy her. And I don't think she has the impact that a character like Moondragon had, with completing that 4th member of the Infinity Watch team. It just felt like they were trying just to reach into our back pocket and take our money.
Yeah, this whole Secret Avenger team just feels late to me. I got a little different take on that, because I think it's interesting, because I understand kind of what they're doing on this, and it kind of goes to like some of the videos you made yesterday. Like, this is for new players coming to the game. Well, I mean, if it is for new players, I think it would be awesome if they made them farmable quick. Scopely doesn't really have a history of doing that. If the new players are not able to access the gold stars for this, I don't know how this is really going to benefit the new players that are trying to get into the Doom raids, because there's other characters that work there that we aren't able to get the gold stars that are pretty effective. Maybe not more effective than the Secret Avengers, but they're able to use. But let me go back to the Secret Avengers effectiveness. If they were released right when we got the Doom raids, before people started building up military skill for those lanes, building up characters, Kestrel you probably would still use, but some of these other characters that they've solved.
Colleen Wing, Taskmaster, obviously Red Guardian still probably in the argument of some of the best. Gamora, Moondragon, again, I don't know if she's not even on the best team.
No, that's true. She may not be on the best team, but going back to the thing, I think the community would be very excited about this team if they released it back then. They would like, oh, we gotta get this. We gotta solve the Doom raids. But it's been months since people have had the Doom raid solved, and this is just kind of a very late team. And we're gonna get to some of the timing of their thing. They seem late with a lot of the responses with these teams, with the releases. But what do you see for this team as far as their long-term use? How good do you think this team is going to be able to blitz? And I know you tried them out in Arena and was using that on stream, testing them out. So what do you think as far as the effectiveness of this Secret Avengers team that we have in the game right now?
So one thing I want to just kind of say right away is they're a good team. They're 3 plug-and-play characters that each, even at individuals, they really have that true plug and play nature. It's kind of the way that they're designing characters going forward, is they kind of want to create like theory crafting. We still don't have a true 4th member of X Factor, but they're not significant in what they can do. We don't have a true 4th on a couple of teams. Like Marauders is still the Marauders without a true Marauder. So I mean, there are and Emma obviously was probably one of that iterations of. I'm thinking that she's farmable this week. Where characters were allowing us to theory craft. So I think, looking at a lot of what's happening right now, there's a marketing push for new players, and I think that's a little. We need to take a pause and take notice. So if they're trying to bring new players to the game, how are they going to keep them here? Well, hopefully the roadmap solves that.
Okay, well, if this is what their plan is. I think that's a good thing. And I guess we're not going to fully know till a few months down the road, see how early they can become farmable, how easily accessible this is for newer players. But I got to say, right now, the Maria Hill does not seem like a very new player-friendly release, especially with the $50 price tag, the core offer, Blitz release, not very easy for new players. Captain Sam, Strike Pass release, not easy for new players to get unless they're spending money, and you're not able to get a lot of charge for him, even if you do buy the Strike Pass. And Sharon Carter's event release, that's pretty friendly, but I don't know if you could easily get a 6 or 7 star release for this character. But yeah.
let's be realistic. I think they're assuming people are buying the offer.
The offer for which character? Maria Hill? All of them.
When they're talking about like ease of release and stuff like that, I think they're assuming that people are buying the offer for characters.
That's not how I would define it, but I guess some people could define it like that, as far as the ease of use.
The company is probably looking at that data and looking at it from a perspective of it, is it easy to finish it if you buy it?
I guess there's a bigger question of, is that right? But instead of getting to that bigger question, let's just move on, because this could be a very long conversation. But yeah, Maria Hill, Secret Avengers, they do have some use. And Maria Hill, like you mentioned, her Blitz is coming up tomorrow. And as we take a look at the Blitz schedule, we have the Yellow Jacket going on right now. How big do you think these scores are going to be for Maria Hill? Do you think players are going to be pushing for this? Is this going to be in the 40-ish million for 1%? We haven't had a Blitz release character for a while, but then again, this team overlaps a lot of things that we could already do in a game. So what are you thinking for this Blitz as far as Maria Hill?
I think it's going to be off the wall, because people are noticing that the community isn't embracing these characters, and anytime that's happened, they've been significant later on for unlock, and for an unlock for potential like a legendary. So think about it. I mean, like three Secret Avengers and 2 Mystic Shadowland, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that could be an unlock going forward. So I guarantee that people are afraid of this being used, the lack of hype being used against them. So I expect those scores to be astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of did that with X Factor last year. People were thinking, oh, do I need another war offense team? And they've missed out, and some people missed out on them, and then they missed out on Doc Ock as well. So it could be true. I mean, that's kind of the MO for Scopely. So I guess your belief in whether you need this team and your belief in whether they'll be needed for a legendary, I guess, is going to determine how hard you're going to go on these characters. But one other thing that I wanted to talk about, we've had a lot of releases this year. Where is the content to use these characters in? These are who we've had released this year. We've had the Secret Avengers. You can see the Axemen, Shadowland, Silver Surfer, Kestra. We've had more X Factor, Heroes for a Hire, Infinity Watch. We got the Secret Avengers now. Where is the new content to use these characters in? When do you expect new content? Do you expect that in the next blog post we're going to get some information of new content? But I don't know where to use these characters in. Where is the new content, and where are the villains? So I guess let's start with the content first. I don't want to throw too many questions at you, and I have a habit of doing that, unfortunately. So where's the new content coming?
So the good news is, I follow you on Twitter, and I noticed that Jason Bender's like, I'm really excited. I can't wait to show you what we have in store. I saw that as
the tweet from like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
Oh, so that is when I was really excited for the blog post.
Well, and to be fair, I think they're just not ready to show us what's behind there, because I think sometimes maybe they don't want to have another RTA incident. I hope. I hope. I mean, I think that's part of the puzzle, is understanding what the player base wants. And we had a play test of the war, and I mean, it's not in the game yet, so hopefully they're taking the feedback on that and working with it. So, that's probably something that may have been shifting priorities behind the scenes.
Yeah, I hope that is a good sign. I hope that's a good sign that war is not implemented right now, and I hope that they're going back and learning from some of the previous mistakes that they've made by releasing content too early.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully that's from the playtest. And so I think they also. I think they have to gauge what we really want. If the new content is Dark Dimension 5 and Gear Tier level 16, and that's what we're getting, that's not content. That's the next pace of it. I mean, and we're gonna get to this later, but I think there's just that it's funny because if you compare their marketing material to the stuff that we have in game, I wish they overlapped because it's definitely interesting.
It is. I've seen some of those ads on running on YouTube and things like that. The game looks a little different than the game that I'm playing right now. And you talked about content. We have gotten some things. We have gotten some minor pieces of content, but it's kind of redone of content where you have like new raids. We've had raids in the game since global launch. We've got the new raids, this is good. We've got the new dark dimensions. But as far as new content, as far as new game modes and things like that, the only new game modes we have is Real Time Arena, which is universally hated, despised by the community.
I didn't buy the battle pass, and I don't at the reward because I don't know that I want to put the time in anymore to try to get the rewards.
Oh, yeah. Let's go in game because this actually sets up my next question. You want to see where I am as far as my? Oh, I don't want to actually do a match. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you that my objectives. Let's go back to this screen. No,
go away.
I wanted to show you that I didn't do the objectives, but I guess I clicked the wrong button. We're going to a match as we're recording this, unfortunately.
I'm sitting there and I'm getting like cold sweats watching you get in there. I'm like,
I clicked the wrong button. I guess we could have this going on in the background, but yes, as far as I'm going all over the place with these questions. Let me go back to my other question here about these villains. We haven't gotten any villains, but when we go to real-time arena, they still require villains every other week. Heroes 1 week, villains every other week. And we're talking about power creep. All the characters that are released before Silver Surfer don't really matter too much. So all the villains that we're forced to use in this game don't matter as much as the heroes that we can use in this game mode. Why haven't they not released any villains, Remanx? And I know it'll be a logical guess from yours, but where's your head leaning? Why have they not released villains in 2021 yet?
I think it's because some of the villains probably that they had planned were probably from content that was in the MCU. So probably some of the stuff got pushed back, like the movies, and so like something like the Mandarin or the villain, So let's say they've been cooking the Mandarin. Well, Shang-Chi is not coming out right away, and so they don't want to release that either the hype or maybe there's a villain in a movie they don't want to like spoil for people. And I don't know. I just think that people I don't know identify as much with villain. Like Doc Ock was a great villain, right? Doctor Doom, great villain. I mean, is that
Swarm?
The last villain?
We got Swarm in the game, right? Swarm.
Ooh. Yeah,
and the female version of Electro. We got both of those in the game. I think those were the most recent villains we got.
Yeah, but they're like war mode, right? They get all their stuff bonuses in war.
We Scopely, we need more villains. Come on, or stop making requirements in real-time arena, or make it requirements of tags if you're not going to release any more villains.
The fact that we don't have villains in this game is a complete abomination. I don't understand.
Is that? Oh, guys, let me know. Was that something that Remanx was saying? Was that a hint? Was he trying to let us know something? Let me know in the comments, guys.
That's wishful thinking. I don't see him in the silhouette. There's no way he's fitting in the silhouette. So
in this silhouette here, well, maybe not this one, but Shang-Chi. What is that? September 3rd? Is it the 3rd? It's early September. All right, so let's go to some positive news. We've talked about some questionable news, maybe some negative news, but there's some positive things going on in Marvel Strike Force, and one of them is our ability materials. And some of the community was not happy about this, but I kind of like the way they do this. Let me just read some of these lines. The end result, 100% of raid participants and everyone outside the top 5 will earn more T4 abilities. And we're talking about the war rewards. 100% of all participants will receive the additional rewards, the T4s, but everyone outside the top 10% in raids season will earn more T4s. So I like this. It's not like they've done with the previous rewards in the past, where it's the rich are getting richer, creating a further gap between the longtime players, the high spenders. They're not creating a larger gap. They're reducing the gap by giving more to the outside the top 5 and outside the top 10% people. I thought this was a positive. How did you interpret this?
I mean, for me, it's softening the curve, right? Basically, the idea is, that the people at the top are absorbing the high amounts of materials, getting these extraordinary power gains. It's allowing people to adapt their rosters as, changing priorities are happening. Because guess what? No character skippable, Valley.
I guess. I was gonna say heroes for hire, but now you could use them in raids, so I guess they're not skippable. Yeah. But I do like what they're doing here.
I love them in raids. They're phenomenal in this gamma raid. They actually make the things that I had the hardest trouble with. They just make it really simple.
All right, wait, I do want to come back to that. I do want to discuss that in a whole segment. But as far as these, yeah, because I do think that's kind of important. But you know, as far as the T4s, I haven't really looked at the amount. 60 to 190 per season. Now, from the way I'm calculating, maybe I'm thinking, is that per season or is that per both seasons, like a double season, like every 4 weeks or 2 weeks? Or is this every...
It sounds like 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
So it's every 2 weeks. So the idea behind it is you should be earning, and I think that's I don't think it's per. So we'll have to take a look at the war or the raid rewards, but it's 60 to 190 per. If does it mean like the war season and the raid season, or like the combined like total the season? I don't have that information yet.
Okay.
But if it is per war and per raid, that is significant.
Have they announced this in game, the exact numbers and the amounts and how they're going to distribute all this stuff? I saw an in-game message, but I don't know if they have all that.
I think the new rewards are in the files. I haven't had a chance. I'm not. Okay. I didn't really
possibly in the data files, but not in the live version of the game.
Well, I think it might be live in the actual raids now.
Okay. All right, I didn't look that stuff up. All right, but yeah, so it appears that this is all very good stuff, helping players and more, like you said, flattening that curve. Doom and Ultimate 7, all T4 abilities now match the top damage contributor, giving everybody. So I guess this reduces that competitiveness to try to be the top. Is that good or bad for the raids?
That's awesome, because I'm going to be honest with you, and there's 3 reasons for it. First things first, you're going to be held accountable if you're on the bottom performing of a raid team anyway. So that should never been the goal, is to make it so like, hi, you're going to value your contribution. Second was it was so bugged out. We had people going in there to get top scores that they were getting points from the Doom ult. Whatever Doom went in there and ult.
Was that never fixed? Was that still giving additional points?
That finally got fixed, but it was it was definitely something that you know, it was creating animosity in your alliance.
And can you explain for people that don't know what that was? Can you explain what was going on there? That I know it's fixed now, but for someone that didn't know what was going on as far as the damage, Doom, what he was doing back in the day.
So if Doom did damage with his ult, the Doom bot's deaths were counted as damage contribution from the player. So the explosion was counting towards your total. So we'd have somebody that would go in there and they're like, I did 174 million in the raid. What are you guys doing? And they did three nodes, and they were all boss nodes. And we were like, oh, we know what you did.
And they got killed in every single node, but they got a high damage number.
we know what you did.
All right, so I guess this is good in case they have any bugs like this that happen with any future characters. We won't be screwed out of damage that we shouldn't be getting.
Yeah, it's just, but it also means if we have somebody that sacks a node because maybe they don't have the right team for it, they're not being penalized for the rewards.
That's true.
It lets your alliance grow together. So you don't have one person who's chasing the rewards and forcing other people out. And it's important, I think, so that you grow together. Otherwise, you grow apart, and you're kind of leaning back into that community, because they really did us a dirty with the most recent changes with the way that alliances were. Alliances got separated because of the Silver Surfer shards and because of the who had what ISOs on characters.
Even before that, with the Greek heals and stuff. It started that back then with the alliances starting getting split apart.
This is good. This is actually directly from feedback from the community, and I think it's important. That's actually good.
Yeah, I think this whole thing is good. I don't see too many negatives here. Giving us more stuff or stuff we already do, giving players that aren't getting as much, giving them more, giving the players that are already getting a lot, not giving them as much. I think that helps to balance it out. I think this is a very, very positive change. And I guess they are listening to us at some point. But one thing that community really wanted was some shards of the best character in the game. And yes! We got it! Supply store update now available. Silver Surfer. Oh, you're taking it. Yes! Super happy. Now Fountainable from July 27th to August 2nd. Silver Surfer shards now purchasable with power cores at a 20% rate. So every 5 times you log in, there should be a Silver Surfer there that you could get. You could spend them. And I know some people were wondering, what is Fountainable? What does that mean? Well, we got a definition. And if it's now mainstream, Remanx, Fountainable is technically farmable, but not really. It is a tool of scummy mobile game publishers. For example, how would you use it in a sentence? The publisher says, SMN is finally Fountainable. SSM is finally Fountainable. And the user says, no, it's not. You. So it is in the lexicon. It is mainstream. How do you feel about Silver Surfer finally becoming Fountainable? And how do you feel about the definition Fountainable finally getting the recognition that it deserves?
I'm literally sitting here going, it's literally for people who need immediate gratification. It's for power cores. And here's the biggest problem I have with this. And we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth later on. But you know that people have been making purchases for power cores recently and still have no idea what the solution is going to be for, you know, the return. There's some inequity about how they're being responded to from customer service about power cores.
So explain this to me. I'm unfamiliar with the situation. What is going on with this?
There was a notice over on Twitter and on Discord that the bonus power cores from purchasing of power cores were not being distributed to players who bought them.
Oh,
so
awesome.
you know how the pack. So these are the people who would normally buy this, who are sitting there looking at their power cores that they haven't gotten, and are definitely in flight. You know, for those people who want the immediate gratification, they're still waiting for a response from customer service or from Scope to get this, from Boundless to get this corrected. And so it felt poorly timed. And we're gonna get into
timing. Yeah, we got to talk about timing.
We're going to talk about something I think that and it's like my biggest, if I had one major complaint, I think I'm going to get into that later.
Okay. Yeah. I got a bunch of questions for you. I got a bunch of rapid fire questions for you after this. Now, I do have a question though. Who is this for? I mean, you mentioned people buying power cores, waiting for power cores, but I would think most big spenders already have a pretty large Silver Surfer. They won't need these few extra shards of him. Who is this for? I mean, Captain Ireland, he could spam this as much as possible, but I think he already has a 7-star Silver Surfer, right?
It's literally because people are between, I want to say they're probably between 70, some of the top alliances are probably really close to getting him. So this is a last chance for them to make money off of it.
It's just to squeeze out some power cores from people before they...
This is water from a rock. This is literally squeezing water from a stone.
Now, does this mean that something good is coming? Maybe he'll be farmable in a normal way, or is this to squeeze power cores out of everybody, and then he's going to return only to the milestones? Because they do mention that here. This
is literally because they realize that by August 2nd, a certain degree of the population will have him complete anyway. Let's because they already announced that he's going to be in there for 33 weeks. So it's like, all right, you guys want him? Let's go. He's on a.
All right. You could get him quicker, but it's going to cost you. So, all right. We mentioned the gamma raids. We got gamma raid, the heroes for hire, and I think a lot of the community was like, "All right, that's cool, but that's stuff." Now, I don't even know if we're able to use them in the gammas right now. Let's go down to some of these early. Are they there now?
If you launched them last night after the reset, they're on the. I just used them in the raid, and they work phenomenal.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So initially they were not there. I guess they're there now. I'm trying to find the raid here as we're talking. But I guess I can't look because we already launched the raid. But what was your interpretation? What was your first thoughts when you saw that they weren't there? I mean, it's like surprise. Scopely trying to add something, it doesn't work, or were you like, man, I wanted to use that right away? So I thought they were turning things around.
My first reply was I went back to the post and I'm like, all right, wait. I went back to the blog post. I'm like, wait, it says, it says on their next appearance. They didn't mean this one. They meant like we're making plans for next weekend, not this weekend.
Hold on. Let's go to the actual what it says in the blog post here. Let's read it. Maybe I missed something. That's why. Don't miss our upcoming blitzes. Gamma rays.
Right up there, right there. Yeah.
All right. So let me read this. I might have missed something. The Heroes for Hire is making an impact in Alliance War heli characters. Soon have the opportunity to flex their might in gamma raids, starting their next run, which should have been Monday, right?
Well, that
any gamma raids 3 and 4.
If it was Monday, it would have said starting this run. Not next run.
Wait, but this is from Friday. Yeah, the next run would have been on Monday.
Clearly, if you read it, it's our fault for reading it wrong. They meant the next one. They didn't need it this run.
Yeah. Because when I see starting their next run, I would think, yeah, okay.
So starting, not the run that we're gonna get this, not this one.
I guess you got to translate it from normal person speak or from Scopely speak to normal person speak, and then back again to understand what these blog posts are going. Because
to be realistic,
but let's get a serious conversation. How good are these guys? You've used them. You've used them extensively. We've talked about Misty Knight's having those ability block stuns. I wasn't really impressed with Colleen Wing, but you say she is key. So tell me about these characters, how they are in these raids here.
She's assisting, she's triple tapping, she's doing absolutely amazing things. It's absolutely insane. She's just so much damage that's going out. When a character dies, the whole enemy team's getting offense down from Misty Knight. It is legitimately probably an edge on those defender nodes that probably were sitting there lacking, because even mercs weren't doing what the Heroes for Hire team are. The Heroes for Hire just have so much sustain, and I'm super impressed with what they're able to do. And so is it, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit later, because there's a reason why this got added, right?
Actually, before we move on, let me talk about these characters specifically, because Misty Knight, she has a lot of control, the ability blocks, and you're getting a lot of assists from Colleen Wing. So is Colleen Wing more of the damage dealer and Misty is more of the controller on this team to control the enemies? Is that what you're seeing?
So the idea is that the damage on these guys, so the Gamma Raid was never really like so hardly tuned, because you can kill things if you kill them fast enough. The problem is a lot of the characters were preloaded with speed, like they were like Lokis and
and you're talking about 4.3, right? Because I'm on 4.2. You're talking about 4.3.
Yeah, and even 4.2 is still pretty difficult. It's just that they're 50k power, but they're overtuned because of their health and their damage. But mostly they resists, right? But you're able to just do so much damage with these teams that you're able to just knock it out, and more importantly, you're also getting offense down when you kill a single character, which is super important. That's Misty Knight's passive. It's operational outside of war, which is something that I think a lot of people take for granted on that power. An offense down just stops your team from dying, and then you got the defense up, the death proofs on the team. It's really good.
Good. That's good to hear, because I saw their kits. So I'm like, I like the stuns, but I didn't really see it much from Colleen Wing. But it's good because that she's getting a lot of assists and really helping that team. And hopefully they make this team farmable a little sooner for newer players. Again, if they do Secret Avengers, release them very early, and that is a solution for some of the raid nodes. If they do this as a team, not really for a war defense, but mainly for the gamma raids to help players there, I don't think it would be bad. I still don't like them as a war defense team, but I like that they're helping players in some of this PvE content. Now, you did mention that there was some positives that because these characters got added. I know there's some things said in the Envoy chat, so I don't know how much we're able to discuss what went on there, but I'll leave you the floor, and you could go as much as you feel comfortable discussing how positive this is.
So, I mean, the bottom line is I can talk about a couple of things, and I think the most of my frustration right now with the game comes from the fact that it takes so long for them to correct a mistake. And sometimes it takes a long time for them to communicate it. And I think the biggest problem we've seen is consistently has been when these red stars consistently being inaccurately provided to the community, whether they're not right up in the orb or they're not available at the right timings. And so people are trying to take, so red stars are unfortunately the gotcha mechanic in this game, and people live and die in this game by red stars. And so the problem is, if every single red star release is bugged in some way, and it takes over a month and a half in some cases to address it, and people still have to get the red stars for these characters. They're either buying more or forgoing the team or quitting the game. And so I really think that the identifying the problem, discussing compensation, helping the community, recoup their losses from this, the time to solution is way too long, and it's not acceptable. It really is. I mean, and so, and I think that's where the majority of the veteran player base is just up in arms whenever this happens again, and it keeps happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what is the positive though from this Heroes for Hire?
Yeah,
how does that it's gotta turn into your frustrations, but how is this a positive?
Let's talk about the positive here. And I mean, and it's not funny. Stop laughing. No, I'm kidding.
I thought you were being serious. I'm like, whoa, Remanx is angry about something. I was like, what happened now?
But I want to say, and this is the problem, right? And I just want to say that, right? Is I can't celebrate the good things happening in the game because stuff like that keep happening. I can't.
I get you. I get what you're saying.
I can't say without and to take myself seriously. Okay, that wow, what a great thing this is for the community. Because of the fact that we have these overlying issues that it takes so long to solution. But I want to say this to the community. Pre-tag on Philo and the Heroes for Hire in the Gamma Raid. These are specific things that you ask the envoys for. The envoys asked for your behalf, and Cerebro got implemented for you.
And I guess the PIM one was sort of. That's kind of what the envoys were asking for. Wasn't what they were asking for. It kind of got convoluted, but that was the change.
We asked for, but because that happened, we asked for specifics because we realized we literally understood, what Heroes for Hire would bring to the Gamma Raids by making them defenders.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was going back for the PIM because that wasn't implemented how the envoys were saying.
Yeah, that was
make it additive. They replaced some things, but this is additive. So this is good. So again, it seems like they're learning from a lot of their mistakes. They didn't remove tags; they just added this tag. So that's another positive. All right. Any other discussion about Heroes for Hire before we move on to this little game that I want to play with you?
No, we're gonna be doing we'll be doing that later on. But I'll have a video up my channel, probably showcasing them this week.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, so check that out, guys. Remanx has got good videos as well. As far as finding things, you found the Infinity Watch in Arena, or the Infinity Watch counter in Arena with the Secret Avengers, and now you found their usefulness in the raid. So make sure you check out his channel. But it's time for a game now. What If is coming out on Disney Plus. I believe August 11th. I think the date is right. And they're going to have 10 episodes, a lot of episodes. I want to play a little what if game with you, Remanx. So I'm going to ask you some questions and just get whatever pops in your head. I know you've made a lot of suggestions to Scopely, but different things that could be changed in the game, that could be implemented in the game, that would improve. Most of them, I mean, some of them are listened to. I don't know how many actually got implemented, but what if Scopely actually listened to your suggestions? What would the game look like right now?
Oh God, there'd be a story. Like we'd be participating in a story. We would be building our roster, specifically knowing that why is Kestrel? Why is Kestrel on our roster? Kestrel was coming into this because there's a new extra dimensional threat that's on the horizon, and she's ushering in. Has helped bring the Heralds of Galactus to this strike universe because something bigger is coming, and the new enemies are emerging in the background, and we need to build our roster for that. And every patch would be part of a 3-month season that would tell like a story arc. That would basically every single thing we were doing is part of a story. There'd be a feature raid that would have better drops because you're building it. The highlighting a team that you're building toward. I wouldn't be leaning so much into fear of missing out. I'd be leaning into being excited about the story that they're telling. And I think that for me, when I look at the marketing material, it seems like they have a story. I don't know why they don't share it with us.
Yeah, story is not really something that I've paid attention to. I honestly don't know what Strike and Ultimus and all the role is. I've been playing this game for a long time. I haven't paid attention to it. And I think players reach for things, but I really like what you said about that 3-month window, having something leading to the next thing, to the next thing. And I think that's something that's very much missing in Marvel Strike Force is like something leading to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And like, oh, that thing that we did 2 months ago, that's for this. Oh, that thing we did a year ago, it's for this. I don't get that feeling. It seems so random. It's like from patch to patch to patch. So I really would like some of that stuff. All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. This is a big point that you just mentioned. What if Scopely responded to players quicker? What would the game look like? What would the player base look like? What would the climate of the community look like right now?
I think people just wouldn't be, the longer it takes, think about it like this. you know, we're sitting there and you broke your leg and like, go to the hospital. Nah, it'll be fine. Go to the hospital. Nah, it'll be fine. Go to the. I don't even know if it's broken. Actually, it hurts when I walk on it. Well, why do you go to the hospital? Well, now it's not it's not wiggling on my ankle. The problem you have is they kind of let this inflamed nerve like go for so long, and the problem is the wounds don't heal the right way, and that's the big problem. So here's what it would look like, right? People would be happy because we would be able to glance. So if problems were being solved quick enough, we wouldn't be so upset about every single problem that comes to the game.
Yeah, I mean, let me just go off on a little tangent. How much do you think when Cerebro posted that about having to go back to the stakeholders after every decision? How much do you think the stakeholders and having to check with them after every little process? How much do you think that's hurting the game right now and hurting the player base right now? Just having that, because that extends the response time for everything that they do. Hold on.
I just gotta call my wife and get permission to answer the question for you. So
good. Yes, let's check on that.
Hey Han, Valley just asked me a question, and I'm not sure. I have an answer I want to give him. So here's what I think I should tell him. I think I should tell him that it's hurting the game. I can't talk to him. I gotta wait. I'll have to wait till next month.
All right. I guess we'll have you on next month and get your answer for that, and hopefully.
She said I had to ask her mom and my mom and get them all together.
More stakeholders before we could answer the question. All right. I think we got our answer right there. Let's move on to the next one. All right. What if Scopely focused on adding fun instead of monetization methods? I mean, I remember their early 2021 blog post. To me, nothing in there excited me, made me like, oh, this is fun. I'm so looking forward to this. All of it seemed like monetization methods. So what would the game look? What if Scopely would focus on adding fun and not just making money?
I think fun games make money. Fortnite didn't become a success because it was boring.
It's because it's just monetization.
Yeah, it was just unfortunately, I think that I just feel like that there's almost and I think actually when Mobile Gamer found that article, right, with the $300 million, right, can you show me where $300 million worth of fun is, please? I'm looking for it really, really hard.
I guess it depends how many players there are. I guess.
So I'll be 100% of the time. If fun, like when this game is fun, I think it's tons of fun. Symbiotes were fun, like building them, going to the raids, hitting auto, kicking your feet up, and going, wow, I actually built this team with this ISO, and this made it so I can auto this mode, and I can go spend some more time with my family. I can show this to the community, and I just think that they forgot that there's ways to make video games fun.
I don't know if they forgot. Maybe that was never a priority at the beginning. Let's do the bare minimum of fun.
No, I think I'm never going to say.
You're not going to go that far
because I don't want to discredit game companies, because I think sometimes they lose sight of what fun is. But I think at the end of the day, they know they're creating something that they hope is fun. I just think that unfortunately, if you put the monetization before the fun, I think you get Strike Force.
Yeah, and then let's go back here. Let's look at the 2021. All the stuff. Nothing excited me about this. So I'm really hoping that the late 2021 excites me a little more, because that was not one of the best things. All right, last question, and this is a big one. All right, let's say that they came to you, said, Remanx, we need you to run Scopely. You need to fix the game. What if you were in charge of Marvel Strike Force? What would the game look like?
Okay,
I know I didn't prep you with these questions, so you're getting it off.
Let's start with this next patch, not this current patch that we're in.
All right, what would you do with this next patch?
So the first thing
to start to fix this game.
So the first things first, might have a major game mode. I would have like a brand new game mode. You're fighting a world boss together as a community, right?
I like it.
So the whales, while they're the top points and whatnot, they're making the boss easier. So if they kill it, then the next boss that spawned gives everybody more points towards the goal.
That sounds like another game that we play.
it would be a new character unlock method. So we'd be having a new important character that would be setting up the next storyline. So basically, you're freeing this character from the hold of this boss. So you're basically, this boss has captured this character, and it's our job to free them. So we're getting them on our roster, right? And so obviously, we'd have some. So and more importantly, the story would be. The current strike members, that the reason why, so when we free this character, there'd be a story that they're going to tell us that they know the villain's evil plans, and stay tuned for next patch because they're going to tell us what's coming next. And so you build some like excitement and hype. And so the next character that comes in the next world boss, the next patch that we're getting from that, is going to have another piece of the puzzle. And they're going to be part of this team that we're assembling over time to really help with this upcoming threat. And so they told us what the villains like masterful plan were. And so we better get this person because this person is going to be helping us for the up and coming threat. And then, so the next patch comes up, this 3-month cycle, and there's this 3-piece combo that's gonna help you in game modes, and one's gonna be for one's good in raids, one's good in war, and one's good in arena. Plug and play for anybody who participates this, but they come together on this team and help build your roster, right? So you always have this type of thing. So at the end of the 3 months, they're gonna help you for this next big push for the next month, but it's gonna be a story that you're interacting with, so you're gonna feel tied to the characters. And sometimes you're gonna see like extraordinary loss. Like maybe the reason why we don't have Yondu getting reworked is because in this version of Strike, he's dead. Oh. What if that's what like we watched him die and sacrifice himself? What if that was the reason why he hasn't gotten a rework? So then the next time we do it, it's like resurrecting Yondu, and like you can literally go into that and like, oh my God, Yondu's getting a rework. All we gotta do is beat this boss, and we can.
That would be a really cool way to introduce a rework, right? I like that.
And Yondu gets his rework.
I like that.
But this is literally. Like, if you want to tie it in, like give us a reason to collect the characters. It shouldn't just be, collect them and move on. Tell a story. This is Marvel. We want a story. We want to be engaged in it. And I think that's what has been missing for me in this game.
You know what? That sounds good. And if the story was implemented like that, I think I would pay a lot more attention. I mean, I kind of stopped paying. I don't think I really paid attention, but I'd really like not care at all when Kree was used to unlock Nick Fury, because like, what? Why? That thing makes no sense. And then there was like a loose story with it, like whatever. But I like what you're doing. Everything makes sense. New things like, oh, this character's dead, and then you get a rework version when he comes back to life. Things like tied together that leads to different things. I mean, there's just so many elements that I want from this game. That's just it's been missing for a little while.
So when the patch comes up, instead of like when a new character comes up, all that marketing material, like you're watching the actual video. That's the big difference. Like, so it's literally something that I think is definitely we're definitely missing in this game.
I like it. So let me throw the question back to you guys at home. What would the game look like if you were in charge? Let me know in the comments. And if you're in the podcast version, come to the YouTube channel, leave your comments on the YouTube video as well. But that's all I got for today, Remanx. You have anything?
So with Galactus came to the game, the first thing he would do would step on Mojo's arena. Like he'd step on it, destroy it. And like erase RTA. Like,
oh my goodness, dude!
Oh my God, they destroyed RTA.
How beloved would Galactus be in the Marvel Strike Force universe if he destroyed Mojo at a real-time arena? My goodness, I think he would definitely overtake Hulk or anybody.
Yeah, you make that marketing material. I think you get old players back, guys. Like literally.
Oh my goodness, they should do that. They should do that. Sacrifice real-time arena for the good of the long-term health of the game and the community.
He destroys Mojo World.
How many players will come back? How many players will come back if you did that? That's an excellent idea. They need to hire you for your story, right? I like it. Introduce stories. Have Galactus or anybody destroy Mojo. Who's going to destroy Mojo?
That would be a lot of fun. Anyway, we'll definitely talk about that.
All right. What? Anything else coming up for you, or anything else you want to discuss? I always just a lot.
We got a lot more. We're going to be hanging out on Friday, right? We're going to do that.
Yes, we do have.
With Half Said, we're gonna go over some of the other stuff in the other game that we're playing, and I think we're gonna revisit the Heroes for Hire stuff for you too.
Yeah, I'll let you get the gameplay footage. I'll let you do all the initial, and then we'll get the reaction to your video after that. So make sure you are subscribed to his channel, because he's got some cool videos for you guys. Anything else that you want to promote?
Just I got something in the mail. I think we'll have to talk about that next week, right?
Yeah, yes. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. We'll be talking about that, but you guys will know what we're talking about, and hopefully it's very beneficial and helpful for you guys as well. All right, links will be down below. Is there anything else? I keep asking you. There are other things. So is there anything else?
No, that's it, bud.
Okay. Oh, Remanx, it's always fun. It's always been a pleasure. And I guess Friday, we're meeting up again, discussing Future Rep and more Strikeforce. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you got all that stuff going on. And I will see you guys next time. Before you go, Remanx, give me that Hulk fist bump, brother. Where is it? Oh, it's coming up. There it is. Remanx at ValleyFlyin. Out. I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Check out some links in the description. Check out some of the sponsors. And check them out on social media. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, arcades need to go away. They should just like have it nuked. That's like I hope they would do that. Like Galactus eating the RTA world and like a big opening thing. That'd be awesome.
I don't care if it's